Hello and welcome, beautiful people. I greet you from the forest in Montana and sending lots of blessings to your heart. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video is for the old souls. This is for the ones who've been around the block, right? Like you have been in it, especially these last few years. The themes that have just been looping over and over again, the patterns that have just been feeling like you can't get rid of them, you can't get away from it. What I want to share with you is that this lifetime is a culmination of so many ones that come before this. So many themes that have played out with a lack of consciousness. So many of these patterns are just so deeply grooved into our Akashic records, or the way that you could look at it as programming that keeps getting installed no matter how many new computers we have, right? Because we never cleaned it up. We didn't have the awareness to clean it up. And this lifetime in particular gives us finally the opportunity to expand our awareness and to be able to clean up that software programming that got installed and just kept reinstalling itself over and over and over again, whether that is poverty consciousness, whether that is a distortion in your relationship to life, to God, to source, to the universe, from religious trauma or programming, whether it is betrayal wounds that you keep seeing again and again, whether it is fear of being cast out of your community or judged for being who you are, or for sharing truth, or for speaking to certain things that people were afraid of in a much lower density, as Mahomey, Yeshua, or Jesus did. Can you imagine saying the truths that he was sharing back then? Like now it's more accepted, but there's still a lot of judgment with stuff. And can you imagine how the projection and how that must have felt, the energy of the judgments that someone like Jesus would get from sharing the wisdom that it was of a much higher vibration and consciousness. It's like, wow, that guy had a lot of courage, balls of steel. But he knew who he was, so none of it touched him, right? He didn't take things personally. He could see things as they were. He recognized that we are living in the dream of God, of the universe, of Source, the Father, the Mother. And now in this lifetime, we have the space beyond survival, beyond struggle, beyond all the density of all of those other fear traumas and the programming of those experiences. We have space to go beyond that. And so if you're someone who has struggled very deeply with some of these things that I've mentioned, you got to know that this has been going on for a long time, and you've never really been fully presented the opportunity that you have right in front of you right now to make a new choice, to overcome your old self, your old programming. None of it's you. It has nothing to do with who you are now and the way that you express yourself. Truly, like if you zoom out, because yes, the way that you are expressing yourself now is influenced by those things, as it has been for many of the other lifetimes. My point is now that you get to zoom out more. You get to have the experience of the observer who's recognizing the programs on the computer that don't work. The software that is really making things difficult and not allowing you to enjoy the experience here. And I know a lot about that. Sometimes it has felt like, even though I have conceptually the knowledge, the wisdom of some of these things, when it comes to the results that I've had in my life, it's not indicative of the truth that I'm aware of, right? So I point that out because these things are so unconscious, and it's so important to stay conscious, as I said in my last video, to stay awake and not get hypnotized back into the dream of Maya, of the illusion, right? So this is why it feels like it's taken so much work. Again, because the momentum of that karma, of those choices that solidified that programming lifetime after lifetime, it gets really rooted in there. The roots on those weeds go down deep. Not everybody has this, right? Again, I'm talking to the old souls here that they know, you get it. But the cool thing is, this is the time for freedom. This is the time where we get to release the shackles of those karmic choices we've made and to make completely new ones. So in order to do that, you have got to live intentionally. You have got to stay conscious and do things that help you to anchor into that every single day. Let me know in the comments if you've had this experience. I've looked at certain people and in my life, and I have said the words, "Oh, must be nice to have a vacation life where you don't have to do all this shit, all this work, this generational undoing of these karmic patterns." And I laugh now because it's like everyone's on their journey. Everyone is having their exploration of this earth plane in different ways. And, some people are, let's say, newer to this place. And so they don't have the attachments and the garbage of many, many other past lifetimes. And so that used to feel like a burden to me. And now I'm starting to own it. And I'm starting to recognize the good, the bad, and the ugly of that. It's a blessing because you're able to see things as they are more easily, but it's frustrating because you can see them. And if people aren't able to see it, that they don't really know to the depths the burden of which they carry. So if you're an old soul and you feel like you've been buried by these themes of poverty and self-sabotage and fear of what others think of you because you have had horrible shit happen in other experiences when you did that, just know that this is the lifetime. This is a special, special time to be in a body and to be having this earth experience, because this is the one you get to shed all of that baggage. You get to free yourself of the shackles of that. And every time you make a choice to overcome that pattern, every time you choose in that minute moment of choice point, do I go left or right down this road? Do I make the familiar same choice, or do I go beyond that and make the new choice here, creating the new karma, sending my energy in a new direction, my attention in a new direction? Every time you do that, you disengage and let go of that karmic stranglehold. And you begin to show yourself that you can do this. And your confidence builds, your self-trust builds, your belief in yourself builds, your self-esteem builds. And if you can continue to do this day after day, know that every time that you do, you are stepping onto a new timeline. You're hopping into a new reality. You are saying no to the one that would play out, where it's just another lifetime of the same choices and karmic occurrences as the old one. That's not why we're here in this one. This one's a lot different. This one is the energies that are here and what the world is going through right now, this global transition to a higher consciousness. You're here to be a leader of that. You are here to help anchor in what things are going to look like. You're an antenna that's anchoring in the celestial energies of the constellations and the themes that are playing out as above, so below, coming to the planet. And you're meant to be an example for those around you and to help them show the way out of the illusion, out of the dream, as you realize that for yourself. So I wanted to highlight that because I get it. This shit runs super deep for the old soul. It feels so heavy, so like, when's this gonna stop? Like, it's never gonna end. And for some people, that can manifest like, I give up. I don't want to play this game anymore. This sucks. But really, that gets in the way of recognizing the opportunity that's in front of us here, that we are finally getting out of the prison. We are leaving that behind and stepping into a place that we've really never been on this earth in this way. Who are you without those limiting beliefs? Who are you without that software running from all of those other lifetimes, those fears, right? Those wounds. That's what you can start to get curious about. That's what you can start to invoke and draw forth from within yourself, because it's already here. It's already here. There is no time, actually. And so when you know that, you can start to play with that, and you can start to draw from that timeline of reality where you did let go of all that shit. You did free yourself. You did the work. You made the new choices to land in that paradigm. And that's already happened. And so now you're bringing that forth into the now space and claiming it. And that's the task at hand. That is what we're called to do here. And so I wanted to share that with you because it's really alive for me right now, because I have moments where I'm like, is this shit ever gonna end? It feels like sometimes it's impossible. And then I'll laugh because the truth will come in right after that. My soul will be like, hold on now. See that belief that just played out objectively. No judgment, full compassion, but see how that was the old mechanism at play that believes that it's trapped and it can't get out, that believes that it doesn't have freedom, that is allowing fears to control them unconsciously. The more you can become the observer and pop out of that lens of the limiting belief and the fear of how you've been seeing yourself and the life around you, that's when you start to really crystallize and bring into form that new paradigm that, again, has already occurred. The one where you're living your dreams, the one where you feel powerful, the one you feel confident in yourself, you believe in who you are, you know who you are. There's nothing that can shake you out of that any longer, not even that aspect of yourself. You have cleared your disk drive, your computer of those programs, and you have installed ones that are going to allow your experience to run smoothly, efficiently, beautifully, joyfully, powerfully. You're engaged with the planet. You aren't putting yourself in your own prison any longer. You have cleared the karma of past choices, and now you sit in this place of a brand new awareness, and with that, a whole new reality begins to emerge, and that is exciting. That is what we're tuning into here. So I wanted to share that while I'm having this beautiful moment in the forest. My heart's open, and I just want to say that I see you, and I know the work that you've been putting in. I know how dense it has felt, how dark it can get when you lose sight of that North Star, you lose sight of that truth. But we have been walking in darkness for a long time. And that doesn't just go away overnight. It's a continued effort to clear out that generational baggage. And it takes a courageous soul to say yes to that, and to not numb out, and to not run away from it and shy away from it. So you're doing way more than you realize by saying yes to this. And if you're listening to a message like this, if it resonates with you, that's you, old soul. Welcome. It's a honor to share the planet with you. And thank you for listening. I will be here back with you soon. We're going into a men's retreat for 4 or 5 days, disconnected completely. And I will be sending you all, I'll be making a video after that I'm sure will be potent after that kind of experience. So much love, everybody. I'll see you soon.